Thank you for tuning in to Exeter TV. The meeting will be starting shortly. While we wait, let's learn more about Exeter TV. Exeter TV is the town's public and government access channels, available on Comcast channels 98 and 22. Channel 98 is your channel. If you have an idea for a program, want to host your own talk show, or submit a film, we're here to get your content on television. On Channel 22, we bring you live and replay coverage of government meetings and other town updates. A third channel, Blue Hawk Media, is operated by SAU 16 and can be found on Channel 13, with all your school sports, events, and meetings. You can watch Exeter TV online at exeternh.tv, Apple TV, and on Roku. Find us on social media for extra content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to get notified about live streams and new content. Tune in to our platforms every other Friday to watch the Exeter Biweekly Report with recaps of recent events, updates from town departments, and messages from nonprofits in your area. If you head to our website, exeternh.tv, we invite you to sign up to our newsletter to receive monthly updates about new content, upcoming meetings, and more. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch Exeter TV and hope that you tune in to our other content as well.
Good evening. Welcome to the February 15th meeting of the Exeter Zoning Board of Adjustment. I'm the chair, Kevin Baum. With me tonight, alternate Chris Merrill, Laura Davies, Vice Chair Bob Pryor, our clerk Esther Olson-Murphy, and Rick Thielbar. We have our 5 full members tonight, and only 1 application, so we'll all be voting on it. Chris, you're welcome to comment, and then the rest of us will vote. So, first application of the evening, and only application, is Roger Elkis for a special exception from Article 4, Section 4.2, Schedule 1, and Article 5, Section 5.2, to permit a 2-family home on property located at 181 High Street in the R2 Single Family Residential Zoning District. You must be the applicant.
I am Roger Elkis, thank you. And thank you for hearing my request tonight. I'm Roger. I live and own the home at 181 High Street. I certainly enjoy the property and enjoy living in Exeter, and happen to have a business in Exeter as well, and have been here for quite some time. My desire is to continue living on the property. My house needs have evolved over the years, and I'm looking to downsize my own personal home. I'm here tonight seeking a special exception as I wish to create a 2-family home, adding a modest addition in which I would live onto my existing home. I referred to my letter of explanation. I'm happy to kind of read the 1-pager here. Dear Chair Baum and members of the Zoning Board, please accept this request for a special exception relating to my property at 181 High Street. I am proposing the creation of a 2-family home by adding on approximately 1,200 square feet to my single-family home. My property is unusual in that it is approximately 1.7 acres or 73,835 square feet in a neighborhood that has considerably smaller lot sizes. I ask you to consider my request as the size of the lot far exceeds what is required by the zoning ordinance for minimum lot size, minimum lot dimensions, maximum building coverage, and minimum open space. Given these facts, I think it's reasonable to grant the request, as I, the owner, am not making use of the subject property's full potential, and granting the request would enable me to make the best and highest use of the subject property while still adhering to the zoning ordinance. I'm not quite sure how the proceedings go, but I have been here a few times, so I'm assuming I go through sort of the criteria that. Is that typically what happens?
Yeah, if generally applicants will give an overview of the project, which you just did, and then, as you know, this is for a special exception, so you would go through the special exception criteria.
Correct. Okay. Well, if you'd like, I can do that. So, the currently existing use, the subject property is a 1.7 acre, 73,835 square foot lot of record that is improved by a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, single-family residence with an attached 2-car garage. It's situated in the town's R2 zoning district. The subject property has approximately 144.7 feet of frontage on High Street, extending approximately 476.96 southwest away from High Street to a 99.7 rear boundary line. The subject property's northwest boundary is 90 That should be feet by 134.84 feet area of land that extends between map 70, lot 119.1, 179 High Street, and map 70, lot 124 Ridgewood Terrace, fronting Ridgewood Terrace. Roger Elkis, the owner, currently resides in the home.
And just to, so you are welcome to go through the full application, but we do have a copy.
Yeah,
so
if you don't need me to.
You don't need to read it. No, you don't need to read it verbatim.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
just.
So basically, I mean,
what you may want to do, though, is go through the criteria for special exception. And again, we have it in writing, so you don't have to go through line by line, but if you want to just cover each of those criteria, which I think starts in
Okay.
section 4 of your
Okay.
application.
The use is a permitted special exception. The two-family homes are a permitted use by special exception as set forth in Article 4.2, Schedule 1. B, the criteria is the use is designed, located, proposed to be operated, that the public health, safety, welfare, and convenience will be protected. The addition will be used as a primary residence. The property is in excess of the minimum two-family requirement of 24,000 square feet. The High Street corridor and surrounding properties currently support single-family, two-family, multifamily, and office uses. The proposed two-family would protect the public health, safety, welfare, and convenience. C, the proposed use would be compatible with the zone district. Again, the two-family homes are compatible in an R2 district. D, adequate landscape and screening are provided. The property is heavily landscaped with mature trees, shrubs, and gardens and will adhere to all setback requirements. E, adequate off-street parking is provided and ingress and egress is so designed to cause minimum interference with traffic on abutting streets. The new added unit will provide an additional two-car garage, and ingress and egress will be either from adding onto the existing driveway off of High Street or adding a driveway from Ridgewood Terrace. F.
Can I actually ask?
Sure.
So, yeah, I see. So you have an existing driveway off of High Street, and then the property extends out to Ridgewood?
Correct.
And so what is there now?
Meaning,
There's no driveway.
No driveway
is
there
it
now.
just yard or
it's
wood?
just yard.
Okay.
Yep. It's a yard that goes all the way up to Ridgewood to the street.
Good.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep. And then, let's see. Yeah, that the use conforms with all applicable regulations governing the district where located. Residential use is conforming. And then it didn't appear that I needed a planning review. I did consult with both Barb and Doug when I kind of was putting this together to kind of get some, direction as it had suggested online. The use shall not adversely affect abutting or nearby property values. Given that the subject property is considerably larger than any of the neighborhood properties, the proposed two-family home would represent approximately 8% of the total property, leaving 92% open space. The addition will be designed to conform to the existing structure in quality and appearance, and will be in keeping with the general character and aesthetic of the surrounding neighborhood. It will be considered that the investment in and resulting increased, it should be considered that the investment in and resulting increased value of the subject property will actually have a positive effect on abutting and nearby property values. Therefore, the proposed structure will not have an adverse effect on abutting or nearby property values. I think that's it. And then there's a drawing there which kind of gives you an idea of the existing foundation and the little kind of the part that juts out, it sort of creates a U-shaped residence.
And that'll be a two-story?
Yes.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I think you mentioned that there's going to be another two-car garage in the addition, is that
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
And that'll be like an under.
Yeah, it'll either be under, we're in early conversations with an architect. Without having this piece, I wasn't going to engage an architect other than to have a preliminary meeting. And his suggestion was, you have lots of options here. You have plenty of room to maintain all, your setbacks and certainly my desire was to keep in with the character of the home. It was built in 1930. So the idea is to get a very high-quality architecture firm that will respect and understand. I'm actually working with TMS Architects to kind of respect and understand, really what we're trying to accomplish, which is to really make it look seamless, like it belongs there. It's not going to look like some weird attachment to a house. It's going to be in conforming with the way the house looks now.
Thank you.
Thank you. And actually, now that I'm trying to think, you are on High Street. Are you in the historic district as well, or are you beyond it?
We're just beyond it, yeah.
Okay.
So can I ask what your thought process is on whether the driveway is going to come off of High Street or Ridgewood? Do you have any reason for choosing one or the other, or what are your decision criteria there?
I think it's going to probably, I think I'm going to defer to Shannon, the architect, probably. Certainly, I could see it going either way, but, he walked the property, took a look at things, understand, where we need to be, the relative size of the addition, and kind of said, without me drawing, they're pretty busy right now, so the project, theoretically, he wouldn't start his drawing for months. It's going to take a little time to get this done. But, I'm on the property and like I said, I want to continue to be there, but it's a little much for me right now.
Open, basically, you don't know which way it's going to go.
Yeah, I don't know which way it's going to go.
But just so will you definitely keep the High Street driveway and add a second, or?
Yeah, if that's the case, we would add, if we were to use Ridgewood, we would add a second. I did talk to the Department of Public Works, and they said that's fine. And, but that's, I'm not sure which way I'm going to go until I have more information from an architect that says, hey, this makes sense or this doesn't make sense.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Any other questions for the applicant? I'm not hearing any, so I'm going to ask the members of the public who want to speak to come up. You'll have a chance to come back up when they're done.
No problem.
And address any questions that come up.
Before he leaves, can I just ask, are you on municipal water and sewer?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to make sure.
Yep.
So now, if any of the members of the public would like to speak for, against, just about this project, please come up, state your name and address, and speak into the microphone. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Matthew Forsyth, I live at 4 Ridgewood Terrace, the neighbor. I just want to confirm, now you're talking about it just being a joint, like physically connected to the existing house.
So
right?
if I can ask you.
Okay.
So it works best if you direct your questions to us. I know sometimes you'll direct it to us and we'll direct it to the applicant, but
okay.
It works better and it's easier to pick up on the video and for the minutes.
I just wanted to ask, to confirm with Mr. Elkis that we're now talking about an addition that's physically connected to the house, the existing house, right?
Yeah.
It appears that way from the plan submitted, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, then I agree with everything that he said. So.
Okay, thank you. Would anyone else like to speak to the application? Mm-hmm. Please.
Hi, Lori Stewart. I own the house on 1 Ridgewood Terrace. I'm exact abutter there, and I don't know how the process works. That house has been in our family since it was first built. It was the first house on that street. But I'm just wondering, and just very succinctly, what is the next stage? Do we get to see what those architectural drawings in as this progresses? If you could just give me a basic information, what to expect, because I know there's things happening, but I thought I'd learn a little bit more tonight about what was happening, what it would look like, how much water would come down, just sort of the basics.
Yeah, so unfortunately, we don't have any of the building staff here tonight. From what I'm seeing, right now, the request is that it's just for zoning relief, and it wouldn't, unless we make it a condition of this approval, there wouldn't be a planning review that would go on. So it would likely just be this granted tonight if we decide to grant it, and then a building permit. And so typically, I don't know that there would be another public hearing to review the architecturals.
Typically with single-family homes or two-family homes, it's not an issue for a public meeting. So if it was a commercial property, there'd be a site plan review where things like that would be discussed, but not for...
Or if it was in the historic district, which is one of the reasons I asked that,
Right.
Yeah.
there would be a design review, if you will, but that's not part of our purview. Ours is just the use.
So we're not voting on the particular plan. We're voting on the ability to do it. How he intends to implement it is entirely at his discretion, just as the maintenance of the exterior of your house is at your discretion.
Okay, thank you.
Maybe not the answer you were hoping for.
I just had some people asking me, what's happening? Can you go? We don't really know what to expect, and obviously it's just a big change, so I'm like
Right.
the spokesperson to come and see. Thank
Do you feel that you would have a sight line on the existing house? Is that part of your concern?
No, I'm just wondering, the house is right there, and obviously that lot has been there for many, many years. Just what would change the aesthetics or the flow, or what happens there? Like, I was just looking for a little more what's happening, I don't know, just concerns that are present. So,
Well, there is a drawing in the packet. I don't know whether you were able to see that, obviously, and we don't have a
Projector.
projector to show it. Yeah,
If you don't mind.
would.
Yeah, so where?
And Mr. Elkins, if you don't mind, if you're going to describe it, I'd ask you to step up to the mic to describe it. You can stay up there.
I just wanted to show her this, just so you
It's
can
only
see.
because if you're describing
at
it,
the
I want you in the record,
Yeah, I mean,
and
so
they
the
won't get
house
you on the
is here.
video.
If you're on Ridgewood, you probably
Mr. Elkins,
won't even. Oh,
do you mind, just speak into the mic, if you would?
yeah, I'm sorry.
Because this is being, it's being
I
videoed
understand.
for the people watching on TV.
So the house is here. You are aware then?
the first house on Ridgewood Terrace. So if you come up High Street and take a right, that's the first house.
On the corner?
Yes, the White House.
Okay. Yeah, so let's see, Ridgewood, so you're here then, right? So the addition is here. I mean, I don't even know that you'll see it, really?
So where's the lot that comes right on?
Here.
Right here.
So you're here, and the house is here, and there's just an addition on the side of the house here.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
I know the people who originally lived there.
Yeah,
So I remember
nice.
these folks, like,
Do you have any further questions, ma'am, or are you all set?
I think I'm all set. I'm just came here, I'm
Yeah.
sort of figure out what's it gonna look like, what's gonna happen, how does it affect anyone on Ridgewood Terrace, so.
Well, if you have any concerns, please let us know. There aren't that many of you, so after, just so you know, once anyone else speaks, and the applicant has a chance, we'll then close the public hearing. You can all listen, but we'll discuss it, and there won't be any more chance for public comment. So if you have concerns you want to put on the record or just raise for us, please do it now, because otherwise we're going to close it.
Okay, I think I just voiced that, trying to find out what's happening, and I thought maybe there'd be some architectural drawings and whatnot, so.
Sure.
Just to see what was coming. Thank you.
Sure, thank you. Anyone else? Would you like to speak? Okay. Did you want to make any closing remarks or address anything?
I think I'm fine. I think
Okay.
it's fairly straightforward.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, well, thank you. So if there are no more questions from the board, I'm going to close the public hearing and go into deliberation. Any questions?
Not of the applicant, just of other members of the board.
Okay.
It is my recollection, but I cannot find it this evening, that on a two-family, does one of the units have to be owner-occupied, or can we make it a condition of approval that one of the units must be owner-occupied? Anybody happen to know?
That is a condition for an accessory dwelling unit. This is a two-family application, so it wouldn't apply.
So a two-family does not have to be owner-occupied?
They can both be rented if the owner desires.
Interesting. Okay.
An accessory dwelling unit is a little more limited in size.
Because it's subsidiary to the house, right,
There's other requirements,
right.
but this is an actual
Yes,
special exception.
well, the accessory dwelling unit's also a special exception, but it just doesn't, this unit is bigger.
Right.
It wouldn't
It's over the
work.
720, right,
Um,
right. Interesting.
We can place conditions, so if that's something that people wanted to entertain, we could discuss it. You know, my thought is that this is, I mean, just looking at the size of this lot, I realize that we don't have scaled drawings here, so, but based on what's proposed, it's a pretty modest addition, and my feeling is that's probably, personally, that's probably not necessary, given the layout and size of this lot, but it's certainly something that could be discussed further.
One of the things that we, of course, need to consider always at the zoning board is that we're not simply making a decision for the immediate future, but for the long term. I guess it makes me a little bit nervous that while I don't see it, given I'm very familiar with the home, I've been in it many times over the years. Previous owners, don't worry, I'm not stalking you. I'm sort of surprised at this, but I also looking at the property, I have a hard time imagining it ever being both units rented. But I did want to ask the question because that's not exactly what you would expect in this neighborhood nor with this property. But it would be allowed if it was in fact a two-family, so that gives me a little bit of pause. I don't see a particular problem in having a 1,200 square foot addition onto the property. I mean, obviously, I don't know if anybody knows, but the house at the corner used to be the garage for this house, and it was separated out. So that lot that sort of sticks out by itself at the corner used to be part of this property. And that garage, that was a three-car garage that's now a home at the corner. The existing attached garage was built by the immediate previous owners to the Elkises. And, I mean, it works extraordinarily well as a single-family property. It's a beautiful home. I guess it would be okay as a two-family, but I'm just blathering on here, so somebody stop me.
Stop.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Because of the size of the lot and just the highest and best use of the property, I can't really see it being most effectively used as a rental property.
Agreed.
So I don't think that's a big risk unless things change drastically. So I don't think it would change the character of the neighborhood. I think there's probably some two-family homes in the area as it is, and I think it's going to have really pretty good screening, and I just don't see it as being impactful.
I'm actually unaware of any two-family homes in the immediate area. Certainly amongst the abutters, Crestview Terrace is generally modest-sized homes that I would imagine are pretty much all single-family.
Yeah, I can't think of any at that end of High Street. At the other end of High Street, there's
Other end of
none
High
up
Street,
there.
many, but not at this end. Even some of the bigger homes, which are now have medical
Yeah, I think-
offices or something associated with them, I don't think they're multifamily. So it would, in fact, stick
Okay.
out as a two-family in an area of primarily, no, you can't, I'm sorry.
Sorry,
Sorry, you can't.
Okay, because there are two-family homes within 2 doors of that. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, my thought is, if, I understand the thought about wanting an owner occupancy, condition. I just, other than the fact that, we may prefer having owner occupancy, because I think it just feels a little safer. To me, to put a condition on a special exception, I think that's appropriate where it wouldn't otherwise meet the criteria. Mm-hmm. And given the size of this lot, given the layout, I mean, there's adequate buffering. This is not going to impose on the neighboring properties any more than any addition could by right. And I don't think it's a necessary condition in order to grant this special exception. That's my feeling, but.
I agree.
I do too.
Esther, do you have any questions or comments?
I wish we knew more what we were getting into, like the driveway situation. It'd be nice, and there's a lot of things I'd like to know, but I guess we don't need to know because we're just zoning, so
Yeah.
I'm trying to stay away from those comments.
Yeah, no, I agree, and actually, I would say I would have preferred, and I think our lives would be much easier, and probably the neighbors would be more comfortable with architecturals. But with that said, I understand it's early on in the process and it's an expensive proposition. So I understand why the applicant would want to wait until they knew they could go forward before engaging an architect in that cost.
And ZBA permission is not required because they're not, they've got plenty of surrounding land. They're not asking for a special exception for that. They're not touching the setbacks in any way. And that would include for the driveway, which would go onto Ridgewood. Right. So it's, I think it's going to be a fairly low impact, whether it's off of the existing driveway, which strikes me as being somewhat more awkward than coming off of Ridgewood, again, based on my familiarity with the property. But, probably more expensive to put it in from Ridgewood, but trivially so.
Twice as much snow to plow.
Well, and more impervious surface and more trees
Right.
come down. And
I don't think you'd want to have the driveway in front of the house, so I think it's highly likely that it would come off of Ridgewood, to be honest, given the layout of the property, but that's at their discretion. Either way, there's certainly not a big impact on abutters.
And I would assume a driveway permit would be required to come onto Ridgewood.
I don't know about, well, I'm sure.
Town.
The town must.
Yeah.
They must.
The state,
So,
it's not a
state, no. But I think the town would require it. And
Yeah.
So if there were issues or safety concerns, that would be
The
addressed.
applicant indicated he'd already spoken to DPW about that.
Well then, unless anyone has more questions or comments, then I would ask that someone make a motion.
I'll do that. I would just like to grab my.
Got the cover sheet? There you go.
I move that we approve the application for the property at 181 High Street for the special exception from Article 4, Section 4.2, Schedule 1, permitted uses, and Article 5, Section 5.2, to permit a two-family home on the property as submitted.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Well, congratulations. The special exception's passed.
You can still keep coming to the meetings though if you'd like.
Love to see you.
Next on the agenda is approval of the minutes from the January meeting. Did anyone have any comments, changes?
I didn't read the whole thing closely, but I did not see anything that needed correction.
I'm in the-
Good night, thank
I'm
you.
in the same place.
I found nothing.
Joanna's
She's good.
good.
Okay.
I move we accept the minutes to January 18th meeting as presented.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 And then the last thing in the packet is the annual, our report for the town annual report.
Very well done.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
It
I
looks,
thought that
it
was
looks
good.
conspicuously like the one that you shared with me from several years ago, Bob, but
Which looked conspicuously like the one somebody else had shared with me that they'd written 5 years before that.
it's funny. Barb, I asked Barb a question. She was like, oh, I was wondering if you were going to do that. Here's the one I drafted for you. They look conspicuously similar. All right.
They don't
And so
vary that
I'm
much.
assuming no one has any comments. I don't even know if we can change it anymore, but
It'll be in the town report.
we spelled your name wrong or you have a problem, let us know. Okay, well then,
Move to adjourn.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Nice work. That
Well
was-
done. Half an hour.
You need
Yeah.
to gavel us out?
Half an hour.
That's the way to do
Thank
it.
you.
You have to stay here till you gavel it.
Righty, righty, righty.
You didn't have a gavel last time, so.
Thank you for tuning in to Exeter TV. Exeter TV is the town's public and government access channels, available on Comcast channels 98 and 22. Channel 98 is your channel. If you have an idea for a program, want to host your own talk show, or submit a film, we're here to get your content on television. On Channel 22, we bring you live and replay coverage of government meetings and other town updates. A third channel, Blue Hawk Media, is operated by SAU 16 and can be found on Channel 13, with all your school sports, events, and meetings. You can watch Exeter TV online at exeternh.tv, Apple TV, and on Roku. Find us on social media for extra content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to get notified about live streams and new content. Tune in to our platforms every other Friday to watch the Exeter Biweekly Report, with recaps of recent events, updates from town departments, and messages from nonprofits in your area. If you head to our website, exeternh.tv, we invite you to sign up to our newsletter to receive monthly updates about new content, upcoming meetings, and more. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch Exeter TV and hope that you tune in to our other content as well.